Most people believe the Pope is the most powerful religious leader on earth. They imagine unlimited authority, total freedom, and the ability to change anything with a single decision. But the truth is far more surprising. The Pope lives under some of the strictest limits of any leader in the world. Some of these limits come from ancient tradition. Others come from church law. And a few come from beliefs that the church says even the Pope cannot change. Stay with this video until the very end, because the deeper we go, the stranger these restrictions become. By the end, you may see the papacy not as a position of unlimited power, but as one of the most tightly controlled roles in human history. 1. The Pope cannot ordain women as priests. 7. Though the Pope leads over 1 billion Catholics worldwide, he does not have the authority to ordain women as priests. This surprises many people who assume the Pope can change church rules at will. But this restriction is not treated as a policy choice. The Church teaches that this rule comes from divine law. According to Catholic belief, Jesus chose only men as his apostles. The Church teaches that this choice was intentional and not based on culture or social limits of the time. Because of this, the Church says it has no authority to change it. In the 1990s, an official document declared that this teaching must be held by all believers. Even if a future pope personally believed women should be ordained, he would still be bound by this rule. This creates a strange reality where the most powerful figure in the Church is completely powerless in this area too. The Pope cannot be judged by any human authority. There is no court, government, or institution on earth that has the authority to judge the Pope while he is in office. This principle comes from church teaching that says the Pope answers only to God. This means no civil court can arrest him, no international court can prosecute him, and no group of bishops can put him on trial. Even if serious accusations were made, there is no earthly body with authority over him. This protection developed over centuries when kings and emperors tried to control or remove popes. Today, it remains one of the strongest forms of legal immunity in the world. 3. The Pope cannot donate his organs after death. When the Pope dies, his organs cannot be donated, even if they could save lives. This restriction exists because the Church considers the Pope's body to belong to the Church as a whole, not to the individual. The Pope's body is treated with special ritual care. It is displayed for public respect and buried according to tradition. The Church views the papal body as deserving preservation rather than medical use. This creates a rare situation where the Pope can encourage others to donate organs but is not allowed to do so himself. Point 4. The Pope cannot own personal property, despite living in grand buildings and wearing ceremonial clothing. The Pope does not own personal property. Everything he uses belongs to the Church. He cannot pass belongings to family members. Gifts given to him become church property. Even vehicles used by the Pope belong to the Vatican, not to him. This tradition reflects the idea that the Pope is a caretaker, not an owner. He lives without personal wealth, despite leading one of the world's richest institutions. 5. The Pope cannot dissolve a valid, consummated marriage. The Pope cannot end a marriage that was properly performed and physically completed between two baptized Christians. The Church teaches that such a marriage creates a bond made by God himself. Even the Pope does not have authority to break that bond. While some marriages can be declared invalid under certain conditions, a fully valid and consummated marriage cannot be dissolved. This teaching has caused major historical events, including the break between England and the Catholic Church centuries ago. The rule still stands today. 6. The Pope cannot marry or have romantic relationships. Every Pope must first be a Catholic priest, and priests in the Catholic Church must remain unmarried. Because of this, the Pope cannot marry or enter romantic relationships. This rule has existed for many centuries. The last Pope who was married lived over 1,000 years ago. Since then, celibacy has been required. The Pope represents the Church spiritually, and this role requires complete dedication. Any romantic relationship would be considered a serious violation of that promise. 7. The Pope cannot create new divine doctrine. The Pope cannot invent new religious truths or add new beliefs to Christianity. His role is to protect and explain what the Church believes has already been revealed, even when the Pope speaks with full authority. He is only allowed to clarify existing beliefs, not create new ones. He cannot suddenly change the number of sacraments or rewrite core teachings. This rule exists to ensure continuity. The faith is meant to be preserved. It's not redesigned with each new pope. 8. The Pope cannot be forced to resign. No one has the authority to force the Pope to resign. A resignation is only valid if it is made freely by the Pope himself. Cardinals cannot vote him out. Bishops cannot remove him. Even public pressure has no legal power. This protects the Pope from political control. But it also creates challenges if a Pope becomes unfit and refuses to step down. 9. The Pope cannot be female. Only a baptized man can become Pope. This rule exists because the Pope must be a priest, and the Church teaches that only men can be priests. This rule is treated as unchangeable under current Church teaching. As a result, women are completely excluded from the papacy. Interestingly, there is no minimum age requirement. In theory, a very young priest could be elected Pope if chosen by cardinals. 10. The Pope cannot join secret societies, though. Pope is forbidden from joining secret societies such as Freemasonry. This ban exists because such groups require secret loyalty that could conflict with Church authority. The Church teaches that these organizations promote ideas that contradict Catholic belief. For the Pope, such membership would be impossible. The ban ensures the Pope remains free from hidden obligations or divided loyalty. 11. The Pope cannot be removed for incapacity. There is no legal process to remove a Pope who becomes mentally or physically incapable of leading. If a Pope becomes seriously ill and does not resign, he remains Pope until death. There is no authority assigned to declare him unfit. This creates a unique risk within Church governance. Past Popes have continued in office despite severe illness because no legal alternative exists. 12. The Pope cannot speak infallibly on everything. The Pope is not always infallible. Infallibility applies only in very specific situations involving faith and morals, and only when strict conditions are met. Most papal statements are not infallible. Interviews, speeches, and opinions do not carry absolute authority. This limitation ensures that infallibility remains rare and focused on core belief, not everyday opinion. 13. The Pope cannot have an age limit applied. There is no minimum or maximum age for becoming Pope. History records extremely young popes, including one elected as a teenager. Modern elections avoid this, but legally it remains possible. The absence of age limits creates one of the strangest rules in leadership. History. 14. The Pope cannot avoid Latin and Italian. Every Pope must use Latin and Italian to govern the Church and Vatican administration. Regardless of where he comes from, these languages are required. This reflects historical tradition rather than global demographics. Many Catholics speak other languages, but the papacy remains rooted in European systems. 15. The Pope cannot overturn infallible teachings of past popes. Once a teaching has been declared infallibly, no future pope can reverse it. Each pope is bound by these declarations forever. This ensures stability, but also limits flexibility. It means some decisions shape the Church permanently. Because of this, popes use infallibility very rarely, knowing its consequences will last beyond their lifetime. Now that you know these restrictions, think about this question. Is the Pope the most powerful religious leader in the world, or one of the most limited? If any of these facts surprised you, share your thoughts in the comments. Which rule shocked you the most? And which one do you think most people misunderstand? If you found this story interesting, support the video by liking it and sharing it with someone who enjoys history, faith, and hidden rules of power. And if you want more deep stories like this, stay connected for the next journey into the things most people never learn about. Thank you for watching until the end.